Okay, so here we are, a nice clean salmon. I've patted it off here, and I've gone through the process of making sure that the inside has also had any membrane or any detritus removed from the inside, because anything that I don't use in this candied salmon, like the head and the tail and any of the rib cage, is going to go into a pot for stock. So I've got a firm board and I have my filleting knife. So we're going to get started. So here we are with the fillet. I've started with my filleting knife. It's got a serrated edge and rubber handle, which is for easy grip. I'm going to start taking this knife and following along the backbone. It's a fairly straightforward process once you start it. I'm going to do both sides here. First side I'll get rid of the top portion, and then I'll have to flip over and do the other side. You do want to have some pliers handy or some tweezers, because once you're finished fiddling, you want to take your hand and go along the flesh and remove any pin bones that might still be in the flesh, because you certainly don't want to eat the pin bones that are sometimes found in the flesh after you finish the process. Yeah, the whole process takes about 10 minutes aside, but take your time. Okay, so we finished the filleting process here. I'm just looking for a few odd pin bones here. Takes a little bit of practice, but you should be able to pick out the last remaining ones. So I just cut through the skin here. It just makes it for a little bit of easy handling during the brining process. Okay, in a non-reactive bowl, that means no metal, 1.5 cups of honey, 2 cups of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of chili oil paste, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and 2 cups of kosher salt. And you want to mix it in really well, because you're going to be doing a layering process with this particular brine. I'm going to be using a plastic pail, no metal of any kind. I put skin side down and cover with a generous amount of my dry brine mixture and spread it out evenly, leaving about a thick inch layer of salt and sugar mix on top, and alternate till I get to the very top where the final finish is a good thick layer. I seal it in the tub and put it in the fridge for 6 to 8 hours. So now that they've had enough time in the brine, you want to prepare your racks by spraying them with some Pam-type product and set them down somewhere on top of some news, print, or paper towels. These ought to be placed indoors somewhere out of reach of pets and direct sunshine, not too hot, not too cold. You want to remove the fillets from the brine tub and gently rinse them off under cold water, just enough to remove any residual sugar or salt mixture. You want to blot the excess water off with paper towels and keep using fresh paper towels once they become wet. You're going to place the fillets on the rack skin side down. This step may seem unimportant, but it's kind of critical, because the fillets must dry for 2 to 3 hours. This forms a pellicule or a glaze on the surface, and a little bit of air movement or circulation during this time is helpful too. You'll see that they'll start to change color and start to get translucent. At about the 2.5 hour point of the drying process, I want you to plug in your smoker to preheat it. No wood chips yet. Just put the pan on the element. Preheat it for about 30 minutes. Don't place your smoker in direct sunshine, as it'll get too hot. We're not cooking the salmon, we're curing it, and the smokers are designed to operate at a certain temperature. So read your instructions on your smoker. Okay, so my trusty assistants here has helped me. So as you can see here, I've cut slashes in the top here, just left a little bit here, not very long. So I had done them with the toothpicks, but they're a little bit difficult to get out. And so I just basically have hung them over old school, and it works quite nicely. This is, remember, 2 salmon, and we have just got the 1 rack here, and I've let the chips soak here overnight, and so it's going to be a blended between the wet and the dry on top, and we are not going to use a blanket on top of the smoker like we've done before because it just gets too hot. We're just going to leave it au naturel. So we're going to probably put in the chips for the first hour, and then we'll do it again the second hour, and then quite possibly the third, and we're not going to leave it in for 8 hours. We're going to try it at 6. So we'll check back in the next hour so you can see how it's going. Here's the finished product, as you can see. Took it out last night at about 9:30, and I put it in the cold room and let it sit there overnight. So this is kind of the consistency you can see here. Every batch is a bit different, but this one's a little bit more salty. I did, as I said, remember I coated it with that final coating, and that's much flakier, leaving it a lot less time, so it never really got over 140 in the Big Chief, so it has a much more flakier consistency, not quite as sweet, so we'll have to try to increase the sweetness next time. So how is it? Okay, so
very moist.
Is it moist?
Very a little salty, not a lot. Very subtle, but very moister than the last batch. Not as dry. Even though the last batch was great dried, what I really think in Canada, this is a little more moister. It's delicious.
Is there spice to it? I did add chili flakes, and
yeah, it's just got a softer, milder flavor. It's more like you know, more like a smoked salmon, less like a candy. But the coating is lovely. It's a lovely soft. Much more softer texture. Not you can squeeze it. Whoops! You can squeeze it between your fingers, and it's very soft and lovely. Whereas the other batch, which I don't have a sample here, is much harder. You can't
pull it out of the fridge.
There. You see, even this just breaks super soft, right off the skin. So that's the same stuff here. Here's the other stuff we did previously. It breaks just as well, but you see it's a drier looking texture.
That's because we left it in for 8 hours.
Yeah, and it was still delicious. Not as much salt flavor to it because the brine was different, unless they made a fresh new brine. This one had a little bit more salt in it, but it's still very good. And it tastes so different. This is really a true Indian candy in terms of what I think of it as. See the gorgeous coating on it and everything, and it's quite moist inside. This one's much softer, and the flavor.
It is. It's just a huge number that you haven't.
It's very good. It's just a softer meat, just delicious.